Well, greetings, everyone. It's your girl, Dr. Lisa, aka You Enterprise, and the host of Embrace Your Brilliance Now. Well, it's Christmas Eve, and I am with the incomparable Karen Joseph, the voice of health and wellness. How are you today?
I am wonderful. You saw me. I almost went for the
Yeah.
mic. That's
Give
her mic.
the.
Right now.
This is my mic.
I-
You can tell she has her own show, so she's trying to grab
That's
this
right.
mic.
No,
So I'm
no.
gonna hold
Snatch
this
it
mic
back.
close
No, snatch
because
it
I'm so
I
excited
know.
that this moment has finally
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I love it. Do you want to tell everybody how we met?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you share?
Okay. So we met at Dadley and Carlotta, this power couple, who do production and video and all sorts of other amazing things. Invited me to this co-working space that they have. That's
We call it a think
Think
tank.
tank? I love it. Think tank. So I went there to see some of their production studio, to see how things function, what works, thinking about hosting my podcast from their studio. So I'm sitting there talking to Dadley, and in walks this woman, and he goes, I think Dadley says, "Hello, Queen." And she was wearing a T-shirt that said Queen on it. And so, Queen, but of course, this is your name. And so we started from there. So I'm really excited to be with the Queen today.
Hey, listen, I'll pay you later. But, well, I am super excited to just be in this space with you. As I stated before, you are the voice of health and wellness. Tell us a little bit why you are the voice and what makes you head and shoulders above the rest.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm taking that in right now. I am the voice because I've been doing health and wellness related work now for the last 15 or more years. I haven't counted that much. And I started doing culinary nutrition. So teaching cooking classes, plant-based cooking, recognizing that we heal our bodies through food. So it all began when I was in my master's program for public health, and it was my final semester just about, and my mom was dying of cancer.
Wow.
And literally dying of cancer. We ended up having to put her in hospice. A good friend of the family came by to check in on her and see how she was doing. It was actually before she went into hospice. And this woman, her name is Patricia, so full of life, so energetic. Patricia must have been in her 60s at the time, late 50s. And she was like telling my mom, you should drink some noni juice and have some goji berries and all this stuff about antioxidants. And I was in the end of my master's program, but we hadn't been talking about food
Right.
and how it can reverse the effects of cancer.
Definitely.
We didn't know that then. And so, but my brain started to think, and my mom was like, no, bring me my oxtail and rice and peas and shut up. I'm going to be fine. But it got me thinking about this thing, and Patricia was living that lifestyle. She was mostly vegan, and she was running all the time and doing living this way of life. And so anyway, it got me interested in food. And so I started teaching these plant-based cooking classes. I started a business based on that, teaching other people in the community to learn about eating mostly plants, and recognizing that it's not that complicated to be healthy. It's mostly a mindset shift, right? And then being really particular about what we eat and how we honor our bodies and our minds.
I think that's a great segue into the nutrition piece for me because as an educator, when I see our students that are eating, or I should say, who are eating these packages foods, and in the morning they have hot Takis, they are having Gatorades and sodas. It's so disturbing that nutrition has been thrown out the window. We grew up on food that we grew in the yard. You're gonna eat a mango, you're gonna eat a
Home cooking.
yeah, home cooking. That
Where
part.
the going to the restaurant was like a treat on Sunday after church. Maybe we can get mom to take us to McDonald's or something. But now it's just like it's every day and
Yes.
night, and sometimes
Yes.
lunch. And so that's been the issue, the over reliance on processed foods. And so we as a society are overfed and undernourished. And that is a problem because there's no nutrients coming in those bags of food with all the salt and sugar. Nothing.
So I like to always give a resolve. What do you think the resolve is for those who are they're busy, they don't have time to cook. What is the resolve?
The resolve is like I like to eat out too. I love eating out, and in Florida it's a little trickier because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of thought and creativity put into the food here in a lot of places. I find so I'm really particular about where I go out to eat. But you could always bring food home afterwards and doctor it up, as my mom would say. So
Okay.
the really big key is you want to have your plate have as many colors as possible. When I teach, we talk about eating the rainbow. The more colors,
Oh, yeah.
the better you are
Oh, yeah.
health-wise. I'm not someone who goes around counting calories and counting, all the protein and this and that in my food, but I do look at it and see how many colors are represented. Do I have greens? Do I have some red? And if it's not all on that same plate, then maybe later I'll grab a green apple. I will eat some spinach. I will whatever. So it's
I actually have a green apple in my bag. You know what? I really do.
Stop it.
I
And I
do.
just started eating green apples.
I
because
have
I
a
usually do
green
red.
apple. Thanks. It's stuck down
This
here.
is gone. I also have like grapes in here.
Listen,
Grapes.
I
Look
have,
at it!
Yes,
Yes,
cheers.
sorry. Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
This is
always
for
got
apple.
my apple.
So bring snacks.
Yeah, bring
snacks.
snacks. I
And some
actually
seeds and
am.
nuts and seeds.
I actually end my fast, so I've been fasting,
right.
and I actually end my fast with fruit.
Oh, I love that. How do you feel at the end of a fast? How does your body feel?
It feels amazing. It feels like I'm not overloading it, and so because I'm really consciously thinking that after I sleep, through the night and I wake up in the morning, that I really don't need to eat the heavy grits and bacon and biscuits how we were taught to eat. And so now instead of eating early in the morning, I'll wait until in the afternoon and I break it with water and fruit.
And I bet not only do you not need it, you don't crave it either.
Right.
And probably when you eat something heavy after a fast, it occurs as too much, like too much flavor,
Right.
too much everything.
Right.
So you want something a little bit more muted.
That's a
This
good.
does it. Yeah, your body, and that's the amazing thing about our bodies, y'all. Like we get accustomed to things. We get accustomed to our bodies, our minds, our thoughts. Us as human beings, we get accustomed to a thing, and we just go for that thing all the time. And our body starts to crave more of that, like a habit. Any bad habit, you'll continue to do it. But the minute you start to be aware of it and then start to make smaller changes, your body, your mind, everything else adjusts. Your life adjusts.
Absolutely.
So really, it's about small changes. When I teach plant-based cooking, I'm not trying to get everybody to become vegan. Like
Right.
that's not the goal. Not everybody is meant to be vegan.
Right.
Plus, I like meat. I eat meat.
I know.
do.
I
meat.
listen. I think I'm O type blood, and I need meat. I have to have some
Yeah.
meat.
Meat.
Yeah.
So the quality of the meat matters.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and the quality of good meat can be expensive. So buy what you can afford. Buy the best thing at whatever price point works for you is what I encourage. And make small changes. What's something small that you can do? Upgrade your salt in your cabinet.
How do you
pantry.
do that?
So most of us have been growing
Did you
up.
say upgrade salt?
Upgrade your salt. Upgrade all things.
Have
Let's
you ever
not
heard
start
of
with salt.
upgrade your salt?
Upgrade your salt.
Okay.
Most of us are still buying Morton's or Diamond salt in the nah. Stop. No.
Okay.
Upgrade your salt. You want to have sea salt or kosher salt. That is the pure salt.
I
Back
just
in
learned
Jamaica,
something,
do you
guys.
remember
I
back in
just-
Jamaica? I was told this by someone in
salt.
my class. When I was a kid growing up, she said we would go with like a bag, go to the water,
Yeah.
and go and collect the water in the bag, and then come back from the water, and that would be the salt that we use for the week. And
Nice.
that's where salt comes.
Yeah.
What's in the can from Morton and Diamond? That's not salt. Stop playing. Don't.
Wow.
You want the real salt crystals. One of the differences is the size of it. Crystals are thicker in diameter. They're thicker.
Okay.
And when you're following a recipe, particularly, we tend to follow a recipe by tablespoons, teaspoons of salt, blah blah. If you use the diamond salt, you're gonna be using way more salt than is called for in the recipe because the recipe measures using sea salt or kosher
Interesting.
salt. So we use less salt when we're using kosher salt. A and B, the quality is just pure. and you don't want the chemicals that they put into the other salt to keep it from caking and this, that, and the other is garbage. Plus, when I was telling my cousins in Canada about this, we were cooking, and I went to go grab their Morton salt or whatever it was in Canada. You read the ingredient label. It said salt and sugar.
Get out.
Would you expect to see sugar in your salt?
What?
Is sugar so sweet and salt?
What?
No. So that's why I say do not buy the foolishness. Stop it. And you know why they put sugar in the salt? I know why. They know that salt is addictive. Food industry is in the business of making money, not in the business of making you healthy. That's why we've got to pay attention. We've got to pay attention to what goes into our food. And they know sugar is addictive. It's more addictive than crack cocaine. Studies have proven it. And that's why they put it into salt, because they want you to go back for more. They want you to crave it.
That's an eye opener. That is definitely a wow. Now, did you learn something? I learned something.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about health. Let's talk about wellness, because as we know, it's the holiday season. And I'll be honest, I am not feeling Christmas. I'm not feeling the holiday season. It's just blah.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Ooh. I'm thinking about the blessing that we have to be living in Florida. Granted, there are not so many blessings about living in Florida, but there's some great things that we can be outside in the sunlight. There's so many folks. I'm from New York, so I grew up in New York. Dark winters. I used to have to buy a sunlight to get some sun, because seasonal affective disorder is real, and oftentimes during the holidays, people are suffering from that.
Right.
Also from dealing with loss.
Yeah.
For me, the holidays used to occur as really sad, really depressing, because my mom isn't around, and my grandmothers, both of them, and I just felt very disconnected from family and felt very, very isolated. And so it would occur as, oh my gosh, this is the time to be with family, and I don't have mine, and I can't get to mine, and then I realized that what works is get sunlight, be out in the sun,
Okay.
and then create community around you. If we're alone, it's because we choose to be. And oftentimes there are people in our lives that we can reach out to, and we're no more than a phone call, a Zoom call away if you can't get to see them in person. And I was just sharing with friends earlier today that even if finances have you feeling a way about the holidays, like so many of us, like I felt this, where, oh, I don't have money to buy this one, that, and this one, that, so I'm just not going to go because mom said don't go anywhere with your two long hands, right? And these two long hands knows how to cook. I could bake up some cookies. I could write a card.
In fact, I'm going home to make.
Me
to
too.
bake cookies.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
What kind of cookies are you gonna make?
I'm gonna do chocolate chips.
Ooh, I
I'll
love
do some
chocolate chips.
chips.
I'm gonna make one of my favorite. It's a sweet potato and chocolate chip cookie.
What you
Yeah,
say?
with sweet potato
Okay,
as
you
a flour.
have to
We're gonna
save me one.
I'm gonna save you, of course.
Okay.
Of course, you got cookies.
Okay.
So being intentional about who you spend the time with, and remembering that if you're alone, it's because you want to be, and if you want to be, that's totally fine.
Right.
Choose to do something good for you. After my divorce, one Christmas I spent when I first came here to take care of my dad was it wasn't Christmas, it was actually New Year's Eve, but I chose to take a bath and to have rose petals in the bath and light candles and bring in the new year. In the tub, renewed, and it felt really good. So be good to yourself. Know that you deserve it, no matter what, right? To be self-indulgent, and also just bring yourself to your people. You are the gift. Your presence is the gift.
I love that.
Yeah. Your presence is the present, as they say.
Your presence is a present.
It's a present.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I can attest to what you said about living in New York, because I was out of the country in the UK, and it was always dark, of course, during winter time. So I am thankful for the sunlight. Like right now, we're at Bennett's Restaurant in Hollywood on the beach, and it's
On the beach,
beautiful. I wish I could show you guys
Spin
a
it around.
panoramic view of where we are, but it's absolutely beautiful. Now,
What?
is there something that you would like to share that's burning, that you would like to give to us as a gift for this holiday season?
For the holiday season, I'm thinking, there's so many. I'm thinking, as the year is coming to an end, I've been in a space of reflection and introspection and just like looking to see how I've changed and grown throughout. And one of the things that I'm remembering to do is to be grateful, right? There's so much things that, wish I had and didn't do and regret and all of that. But when I stand in a place of gratitude, like immense gratitude, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm in a place of gratitude right now. I'm remembering where I was, where I started before I came here, where I was when I was first taking care of my dad, and how difficult that was and how triggering that was. There was a reason why I was estranged from him for 17 years. And then I moved in to take care of him. And then I chose to live in Florida with him. Like, it was a whole thing. So it took something. And looking back at where I started and where I am now, and after this I'm going to go visit Dad in a nursing home because that's where he is for my mental health. So, and actually it turns out that it works out well for both of us.
Wow.
So taking some time to be grateful and to remember your blessings was also important to me during the times when I was most missing my mom and my family during the holidays, because I felt alone, and thinking about like what I have shifts everything. It shifts you from thinking about what you've lost to what do I have right now to be grateful for and to give thanks, and to just like call those people and reach out and share that love, share that joy.
That's beautiful. So, what can we expect from the voice of health and wellness, Miss Karen Joseph, for 2025? What's going on with you?
For 2025, there's a podcast that I'm going to be producing for the American College of Culinary Medicine. I'm on the board for them and on their communications committee, and they are a group college that creates culinary medicine curricula for doctors and for future doctors, for medical schools, for nursing programs, for PA programs, physical assistants, osteopathic programs. So all these future health professionals and food service professionals know the power of healing through food. Food is medicine. And anyway, they're going to be doing a podcast, and I'm going to be hosting it.
Awesome.
So I get to interview people who've taken on the curriculum, who've learned from it, who are in the community now as doctors, as PAs, nurses, who are integrating food and pushing produce instead of pills. Imagine that, right? Being able to go to your doctor's office and talk to them about your diet and everything. It's amazing. So really looking forward to that. The other thing I'm looking forward to is being the voice of health and wellness. I'm going to be collecting the stories of people and their wellness journeys, starting with a community in Fort Lauderdale that Sistrunk.
Oh yeah.
And learning about the folks there. I'm working with the national. Hold on, let me get this right. They're a new client. What's the client?
You better have that
right. They are the South Florida Hunger Coalition. Awesome. And they've asked me to support them in collecting the stories from Sistrunk and finding out who they are and what they do and what their journey has been, and document that. So I'll be doing that. And then the other thing that I'm doing for myself and others, telling everybody's stories. So I want to start, particularly seniors. I love them, and they've got so much stories.
I love
to share.
babies and seniors. I sit at their feet. And I love it.
And
I
learn
really do.
so much, and they're so freaking hilarious. Something about collecting some stories and having some people share their lessons.
There's no filter.
There's no filter. And actually, do you notice that as we're getting older, like we start losing our filter? There ain't no filter over here with me much either. I just heard, I won't necessarily share it. But when I entered into this decade of life that I'm in now, honey, 50s, like,
let it rip.
Unapologetic.
Yes.
Like, this is who I am.
Yes.
Like it or leave it, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so how can we contact the voice of health and wellness?
I'm hesitant to tell you to do this, but I want you to do this. Reach out to me on I Am Beautifully Fed, which is my Instagram handle. I am beautifully fed, like I'm feeding myself beautifully, because that's what it's all about.
I love that.
And DM me or just follow my posts, because I will be posting more. I'm somebody who used to hide out, but I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready to just share.
I love that. I'm ready to be seen. Now, someone would take that and they'll look at, she want to be seen. We're taught to kind of dumb it down,
No,
but I
honey.
love that you like living
No.
loud.
Living my life out loud. And when we dull down, we're not doing anybody any favors. We're here to
Absolutely.
be of service to ourselves and to others. And we can't show up for others if we're not literally showing up. Like, we got to be there, be present. So I'm here for it.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on Embrace Your Brilliance Now, where the journey begins. Promise you'll come back.
Of course, of course. I'm here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard from the voice of health and wellness, Miss Karen Joseph. Well, stay tuned for more content coming your way. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New
Yes,
Year.
honey. And happy Kwanzaa.
Happy
And all that good
Kwanzaa.
stuff.
Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.